Hi Mike, so here's the notes from the lesson today. So on the right hand side is the first swing that you did when you came through the door. So I'll just show you a little copy of it here. And you stated it was sort of big slices and sort of pulls off to the left. So it's quite clear to see from that video that the club path is quite excessively to the left or out to in, if you like. So I'll bring this over and hopefully you should be able to see this. So if we kind of start off, you can see here you start off with a 10-degree path out to in, and it was pretty consistent in terms of higher numbers, we'll say 10 9s and 8s, which is pretty much too excessive for that, for trying to play consistent golf, if you like. So the reason for why this was happening, so if we looked at the stuff you've done on takeaway, so takeaway is miles better, up to the top of the swing. We changed club face angle last time, so that's definitely not what you would call an open club face. Lead wrist is really flat, which is really nice. So what was kind of killing you from here is the movement of the lead arm, the left arm moving a little bit too much out, but more importantly what we would call the sort of balance point of the golf club, which is sort of there just above the hosel. As that moved down, it would steepen and it would pass the hands. So it's not, I mean, the hands do move a little bit too far out and kind of outside that line of that cone, but from this position here now, there's really only one way that ball's going to go. And again, the club face angle was not that bad. If anything, you probably pull. Certainly on the ones that you did to start off with, the first 5 or 6, that they were more pulley than slicing. Because again, the club face angle here, is not too bad. So then we kind of moved to the swing on the left, which was towards the end of the lesson, and we talked about trying to keep this balance point, or we called it 2 different forces, if you like, trying to keep the balance point, which is where the head is behind the hands. So it's not the case of feeling that the hands pull down, contrary to popular belief. So we don't want this, because if you were to pull the butt of the club down, what you'd actually see is the balance point of the golf club actually moving or steepening, if you use that term. Okay, so we said that we want to feel the hand path, if you like, will still move out, but it's just nowhere near as much as it was. But we really wanted to feel like the head was staying behind the hands, and you can see on the way down now you mastered this much better. Okay, so if we kind of stop the club where it's lead arm parallel to the ground, shaft parallel to the ground, which is here. And then if you look at the difference between the two, I'll just take all the lines off so you can see a bit better. In terms of where the hands are, so it's pretty much the same point in the swing, my point being. But you can see in terms of where the golf club is, it's in a much more desirable position. Still not perfect. We're not saying it's perfect, but in terms of what it did for you, I just bring the TrackMan stuff back in. And again, it's quite key to mention here. I mean, I know, okay, this first one was a little bit of an anomaly, but if you look at the next sort of 4 or 5, although the path is sort of dramatically left, if you look at the club face angle, it sits more sort of square to that path rather than massively open. I mean, even this one's a little bit closed. So the path's 10 degrees, but the face is only 2 degrees open. Again, this one here, path excessively left, face is only 0.2 degrees open. And then again here, 9 degrees out to in, but face only 1 degrees open. So they are more sort of pull shots rather than big hanging slices. But the swing on the left here is actually this golf shot. So then you go from 9, 10s and 8s, and then you throw in this one here, which is perfect. You're not going to go too far wrong. So hopefully that makes sense. That's really the kind of key points from the lesson. We talked about the golf swings in front of the hedge or the wall, trying to do those 500 swings a day. Although it sounds excessive, it's it's half an hour's practice. You almost benefit more from that than you would from going to sort of the range, just to try and train the feeling of the lead arm not moving out, and that head of the golf club not getting past the hands like it does here. So again, excessively out in front of hands, whereas here, head actually sits a little bit in line or a little bit behind hands. So then the next time what we'll start to work on is a little bit more in posture and a little bit more in rotation, putting some different bends in there just to try and get it a little bit more consistent. But overall, a very, very, very good lesson, Mike. Well done.